Gavin Newsom is the mayor of San Francisco. By all accounts, he's done a terrific job. I support him as mayor of San Francisco. He's run into a bit of political trouble here, as well as personal trouble. See, that's an old picture of him with the model that he used to date, and he got some flack for that, if you're watching on theyoungturks.com, because she was underage and drinking with him. And we supported him back then, because we thought, if you can go out with an underage model, that's awesome.
Yeah, I
go forward.
Got no problem with it.
By underage, we mean under 21, by the way, not under 18. I want to be very clear on that.
Well, then I don't care as much. No, of course, obviously.
Right. So he's now got a new sexual scandal. Apparently, he has slept with his campaign manager's wife, and he did this about a year and a half ago.
And it's a guy who did, in various stories have been described as his best friend, a guy named Alex Tork, his campaign manager and his best pal.
Yep.
So there's a picture of Alex Tork. Interesting. Now go to the picture of his wife again. Ooh.
She looks like an older version of the original model he was dating.
Interesting. She, and
there he is with the 19-year-old. With the restaurant hostess.
Obviously, those of you in your radio are ripping your hair out right now going, what does she look like?
Here's the deal. She looks like a little like Marge Helgenberger from CSI.
She looks like Vanna White.
She's a little combination of the two.
She's a nice-looking woman, no question. Nice-looking blonde girl.
Not only
woman.
Not only an attractive woman, but sexy. I mean, she's got a sexy.
No, she's got a little something going on. There's no question.
And her name is Ruby Rippy Tork.
So let me tell you something. She's hot enough, Jenk, that if she were married to you, I would sleep with her.
Yeah, but I'm going to get to that here. We're going to get. Don't think we're not going to do that hypothetical, okay? And of course, Alex Tork. We also showed you the picture there. For those of you on the radio who couldn't see the picture, I don't want to say anything. I think he's one of my people.
He looks like he could be a enemy combatant.
It looks like, that they...
It wouldn't be funny if Gavin Newsom had him declared an enemy combatant. Call the President Bush, be like, we got a guy here, Alex Tork, he's dangerous.
So, Joe, of course, and I don't want to say anything.
So we're being jerks. He's fine.
He's fine.
No, I mean, he's obviously, if you put the two pictures of the two guys side by side, the mayor is much better looking. The mayor looks like he could be like a little model.
Look, Gavin Newsom turns me on, for crying out loud. I mean, he's powerful, he's charming, he's successful. Look at him, for crying out loud.
It's weird.
How do you not sleep with that guy?
I'm more attracted to the other guy.
Of course you are. What? Come on, really?
Yeah.
On face alone. Face alone.
I am actually. I'm not. I'm really just not attracted to men that are pretty. I'm just not.
Oh, okay.
At all.
Hey, God bless. Go forward. I'm down with that. Let's not get confused because Gavin Newsom's a good-looking guy.
It's hard, just you can't take your eyes off.
He did something really bad here, okay? And forget the political side for a second. We'll get to that in a second.
Dude,
but on a personal level, and forget the attractiveness or not attractiveness, okay? I mean, Alex Tork, by a lot of people's descriptions, was one of his best friends.
Yeah.
To sleep with one of your best friends and your campaign manager's wife, that's a pretty awful thing to do.
See, I think the wife did the worst. She committed the worst crime.
But that may be, but nobody's voting. Well, this is different. This is a
Dude, who cares? I mean, who cares if he sleeps around with people and he screws his best friend's wife? That doesn't have anything to do with the way that he governs a city or town.
Of course not. It's nothing to do.
So these people are all judging him on his moral character at this point. Nobody's talking about the wife who actually broke a vow.
Well, here's the thing, though, and this is, by the way, this proves it definitively, and if any other women think this too, but this is the definitive end-all, be-all for you not understanding men. Because I guarantee you, every guy in the world most guys, not every guy in the world, a majority of men are significantly bothered by what Gavin Newsom did. It is one thing, in a man's world, it is one thing to cheat on your wife. Guys will forgive you. It is another thing to cross one of your boys. You don't do it, and guys are instinctively offended by it.
Just so you understand how much people...
Am I right, JR? JR, I'm getting a point and a thumbs up.
No, just so people understand how much men agree with Ben's comment that he just said. As he was saying it, Jesus and JR in the control room were both going,
you don't cross one.
So true, true. True that, preach it, teach it. Let me fill in some of the facts. This was a year and a half ago. At the time, Gavin Newsom was going through a divorce with his wife, Kimberly. Yeah, the last name is unpronounceable. She was a Fox News anchor, which is the first thing I've heard about Gavin Newsom that's really upset.
Well, she was a local Fox News
anchor. She's blonde.
There's some chance she was blonde, yes.
I don't know, but probably. So this was a year and a half ago. It was short-lived, and what happened is the wife here, Ruby Rippy Tork, then had apparently some substance abuse issues. Checked in and went through this thing of apologizing, like through the rehab, and she came to her husband and was like, "Oh, by the way, one of my many sins against you is I slept with your best friend, and you're the guy who you were the campaign manager of about a year and a half ago."
Mrs. Tork.
That doesn't help anybody.
No, you did not help.
Really, it didn't. You didn't help your husband. You didn't help Gavin Newsom. You didn't help yourself. It was, in fact, actually a very selfish act, to admit it, if you ask me. I know a lot of husbands and boyfriends use this excuse, like,
I'm being honest.
No, I'm trying to protect my wife by not telling because it would just hurt her, right?
Right.
But actually, it is somewhat true.
Yeah, I actually agree.
Yeah, after you've already done something terrible, don't admit it.
Yeah, especially if you stop the act and a year and a half has passed.
Right.
I mean, let sleeping dogs lie.
Exactly, because the damage is done already, and you going back only is going to create more damage.
All right, let's get to the political parts of this, though.
Okay, so now, of course, Alex Tork is very angry, so he storms into the office of Gavin Newsom and says, "How dare you do this?" Says a couple of choice words. Resigns.
Very principled.
And he's and what's his name is up for re-election in November, isn't he?
Right.
So Gavin Newsom is up for re-election, but he has a 70% approval rating so far in San Francisco. How much damage it'll do to him in San Francisco is yet to be seen. Of course, his opponents pounce on this, and they say this is terrible and immoral, and what kind of a character does this man have, and he needs to resign immediately.
The story in the San Francisco Chronicle, which broke the story, which has been on Gavin Newsom's sex life, they find it very titillating, which I think is odd on one level. But obviously they didn't necessarily break this so much as it was.
I don't find it odd. I mean, we obviously find it.
No, I mean the San Francisco Chronicle following it to the extent that they have. I mean, commenting on it once it's out there is a little different than I would not pursue it were I a reporter. I'd be like, I just don't care.
Sex is interesting.
No question. Obviously it is. But they talked to some voters, and one voter was like, pulled the great, I could not possibly care less. Voted for him before, voted for him again. I don't care what he does. I don't care what he does. Another guy said just sort of what I said was, you just don't do that to one of your guys ever under any circumstances. But then significantly added, but I like him. I'll probably vote for him again.
Dude, he's a mayor. I mean, who cares? He's a mayor.
But he's not just a mayor. He is a rising Democratic star. He is, along with Los Angeles Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa and Steve Wesley, who lost the Democratic primary to Phil Angelides last time, are considered the three Democrats who are likely to be the next Democratic candidates for governor in California. So already some Republican political strategists have said this story is a great day for Antonio Villaraigosa and Steve Wesley.
Right.
Because
do you think there's any chance that Villaraigosa read the story and went, "Booyah"?
By the way, yes.
He's like, somebody bring out the piñata. Let's have some fun.